The Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us about the 10 percenter. But most of y'all think that the 10 percenter is the white man. It is not. The 10 percenter is a class. When W.E.B. DuBois came out with his talented 10th, an idea that he got from the guy Henry Lyman Morehouse, the white man who Morehouse College was actually named after. I want you to think about that now. One of the most prestigious and most celebrated HBCUs in America is named after a white man. In fact, Spelman is named after a white woman. I want you to think about that now. Both Spelman and Morehouse, the two most celebrated HBCUs we have in America, they are both named after white people. I want you to think about that now. W.E.B. Du Bois wanted 10% of the black community to be given what he called a classical education so that they could be the leaders of black Americans, so that they can be the mediaries between black Americans and white society. This was always the intent, and he called them 10%. Today, they represent the Divine Nine, right? The black managerial class, the black elite aspirants, the black political entrepreneurs, the black bourgeoisie, you know what I'm saying? These are all the talented 10th. These are the 10 percenters. And they are serving the role that they were intended to serve. I want you to understand that. Now, I'm going somewhere with this, so give me a second to get there. Here's the basic game of the talent of the 10 percenters, right, in the black community. Their goal is not to really like seek equality with white folks. They know that's impossible. See, equality with the white man in this system is fundamentally impossible for black Americans. It is just not possible. What you got to understand is that everything they keep you focused on is impossible for you to achieve. I want you to think about what I'm saying here. Everything they keep you focused on is impossible for you to achieve. You cannot get racial parity with these people. You will never get any type of real equality under this system. You will never get rich under this system. Getting rich is very, very, very difficult for anyone to achieve. And becoming wealthy is nearly impossible. They know this. They know this. So what they're doing, they got you chasing things that are extremely quixotic and unrealistic that they know you are never going to achieve. Never. And as long as they can make you believe that until you achieve these things, you are deficient as a human being or as a group, and they have a place to sit between you and the white folks where they can point down at you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. When they know nothing you do is going to really matter within this system. They know that. They know it. Because nothing they've done within this system has changed their real role in this system. They're only where they are relative to us. Their only appearance to be up is relative to us. That's it. So you got to understand that these people know that they are misleading you, they're misguiding you, they're tricking you, they're fooling you, but they're doing all of this to keep us fighting with each other. We always talk about, man, Pookie and Ray Ray, they holding down the black community. How is Pookie and Ray Ray holding all of us down? How are those at the very bottom holding all of us down when they have no power? They have no economic power. They have no judicial power. They have no legislative power. They don't even have influence. They have no cultural power or influence. They have no social power or influence. How in the hell are they holding us down? They not. They are just a scapegoat. They are a straw man, something you could point to while you're not looking at the people who keep telling you that they're the problem. I want you to understand, we talk about systemic and structural barriers that are not designed for anyone to circumvent regardless of race, not even white folks. You are not going to become what these people tell you to do. You're not going to achieve whatever goals they're setting for you. You can't achieve them. See, y'all get mad at brothers like me. Y'all talk about I'm talking negative. But the reason why they like showing you like one story here, one story, these scattered stories of success, because scattered success breeds general hope. You know what I'm saying? A massive hope. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what you need. You know, you're still talking about a percentage here. Let me clarify that, because I said that wrong in my original take. Let me do this take over, because this is a good point. Y'all know how Nur Muhammad was talking about the sports thing. And he was talking about all of the fancy percentages of all the numbers, the percentages of how many people become professional athletes versus how many people start out, and by the time you get there, blah, blah, blah. It sounds good. But what he don't tell you is that the odds are even more against you if you're trying to become a successful entrepreneur or a successful business owner. The odds are even greater. And they don't ever say that part, you know what I'm saying? They leave that part out conveniently to make it look like being an entrepreneur is easy. It's not, people. It is not. It is not. Being a small business owner is not easy, people. I mean, I don't know where y'all live. Some of y'all act like y'all live on the moon. But I live in a community right here, right? Where there's a strip mall right by my house. And in that mall, I have watched stores come and go. The FedEx, the PetSmart, and the Michaels are the only three stores that were there when I moved here 15 years ago. Everything else has closed down and reopened and closed down and reopened multiple times. Now, you think that 17 stores that have closed and reopened at least 4 times in 15 years, do the math on that. That's like 68 stores. That's an average of more than 1 store failing every month. I want you to think about that. No matter how you chop it up, more black people have made life-changing money, family-changing money, generational changing money in sports and entertainment than they have in business. That is a fact. It's not a coincidence that people like Jason Black, people like Nur Muhammad, people like Dr. Wesley Muhammad, people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, people like Dr. Umar Johnson. It's not a coincidence that these people have a problem with athletes and entertainers, that black athletes and entertainers, because we're not the only ones that play sports or sing and dance and all this stuff. But they got a problem with black athletes and entertainers. It's not a coincidence. They don't want you to have no avenue out except the avenues that they tell you to pursue that they know that you can't achieve in. You see the game? They don't want you to focus on no other way through this madness but the way they tell you to go, in which they know you can't succeed going the way they tell you to go. So the more you come this way and fail, the more I tell you, well, you're just not trying hard enough. You're not thinking like Napoleon Hill said or Wallace D. Waddle said. You know what I'm saying? You're not channeling your inner chi and all this stuff. They want to be the one to sit there and constantly sell you the same repackaged feel-good information over and over and over and over again that they know don't work. That's their role, to keep you on that hamster wheel going nowhere, running your ass off and going nowhere. That's their role. This is class warfare, my brothers and sisters. This is class warfare. And you better wake up and understand that them people that claim to represent us don't care about us. Because if they cared about us, they would have been told us that all this stuff is a lie. They would have been told us that, man, this stuff don't work that way. They'd have been told us. Because none of them make money in entrepreneurial ventures. None of them make money doing anything but grifting us. Their income, their sole source of income is you, by keeping you in a certain position, a certain mindset, a desperation, and thinking that you're going to get rich. Desperation motivated by greed. Thinking that I'm going to get rich, I'm going to be on top, I'm going to do this here. That's why all they talk about is money. The one thing they know you are not ever going to get. Ooh. I'm telling you, I'm surprised we not up in arms right now, bro. I'm surprised we not in the streets. I have no idea what Americans are waiting for, because this system does not work for anyone but those at the top. Nobody else is benefiting from the way we live. Nobody else is benefiting from the way we live. And I don't understand what's wrong with us as the majority, as the overwhelming majority. What's wrong with us that we are sitting here filled with hatred for each other, worrying about somebody's race, somebody's sexual orientation, worrying about somebody's class status, worrying about if I got a degree or not. You know what I'm saying? We around here with all this pettiness while all of us are struggling under this system, while those at the top are parlaying out. They have effectively become our gods. And I think that's the problem I have with this, being that I'm a true Muslim. I recognize no God but Allah. These people are trying to be our gods. And I have a problem with that. And I'm just so shocked that so many of y'all don't have a problem with it.